Our musical relationship is like a perfect marriage. Maybe it's built on love and understanding, her love of music, and our understanding of her great talent. Ladies and gentlemen, Dionne Warwick.
In 1964, less than 2 years after releasing Don't Make Me Over, Dionne Warwick had become America's top-selling female artist.
We started out with a hit immediately, which is not easy to do, but it happened. And then we went from hit to hit to hit to hit.
When you go through the day and the things that people say, they make you feel so small.
I mean, we definitely carved our own niche out in the pop, R&B, whatever world. It did not fit into any slot. It was so different than anything that was being done by anybody, groups, girl singers, boy singers. It didn't really matter.
In those days, you had a lot of great songwriting teams. You had Lieber and Stoller to start with. You had Goffin and King. And then along came Bacharach and David. And they wrote, they weren't rock and roll songs. They were songs that were stand-ins.
I could always hear Dionne in my ear. I'm sure Bert could always hear her in his fingers at the piano. Even if Dionne didn't do it, we heard Dionne doing it right from the beginning.
Dionne's voice suited their songs tremendously because they were not easy songs to sing. You'd try and sing a Bacharach David song. Just timing-wise, tempo-wise, key-wise, the range of the song. They're very difficult songs to sing well.
So let me hide the tears and the sadness you gave me when you said goodbye.
And Bert would take 60 takes if it took that. Everybody said, now wait a minute. He says, come on, one more time, just one more. And we do it.
There are no 5/4 bars and there are no 7/8 bars. And
leave it to you.
2 octaves? Would you believe 2 octaves?
I don't believe you.
I don't either. You want to try it a little from the top?
Walk on by.
Good. How does that feel?
Sounds groovy. I love it a lot.
I mean, we haven't even gotten through it.
No, it's going to be groovy.
So let me hide.
She took it to another level, which crossed her over into the pop field, which made it great for people like myself and other black artists, because she gave us that other step to go on.
I went to the Apollo and decided I was going to sing people. Bobby Schiffman, who had taken over, said, you can't sing people up here. They won't understand what you're talking about. This is not the audience for people. I said, you crazy. And not only did I sing people, but I got a standing ovation. And when I walked off stage and looked at him, he was as red as the blouse you have on. Basically, I was known then as the little girl who brought downtown uptown.
Well, they didn't expect that of it. That's what made it so phenomenal. You know? For somebody to come out and sing those kind of songs. That had only been white people.
I hear the music coming out of your radio. Are you there with another girl instead of me? I hear laughter and there's something I've got to know. Are you there with another girl instead of me?
People have even said, girl, you must have lived a hard life, you know, at a very early age. And no, I'm just singing the words because I was too young to know about all this unrequited love stuff.
Her versions were always better than the cover version, so the British people took her to their hearts. She could sing live, and she was brilliant. All these, I mean, we all copied these people. We all tried to copy these great American black acts. The Beatles, the Stones, all the blues players, you know, we all revered them.
At 25, Scepter Records' top artist blurred the line between R&B and pop, becoming the first black female to record a dozen consecutive top 100 singles.
I'm gonna send this 3 by 3, 3 for the hero, children, 2 for all that.
I mean, nobody worked like Dionne. 42, 46 weeks a year. But that's what Dionne has always thought of it as. This is my job. This is what I do.
And then she went to college while she was on the road. And she did very well. And I was very, very surprised and proud of her.
She was content reading the book, knitting or doing her needle points, which she became excellent at.
She comes from a good family, religious family. Mother traveled on the road with her. Never seen Dionne out of line. Never known Dionne to be on drugs.
While on the road, Dionne met and soon married jazz drummer and aspiring actor Bill Elliott.
I just thought he was the cutest thing I'd ever seen in my life, you know. And said, him I'm going to have.
Within a year, the couple was divorced, but the relationship didn't end.
I wasn't ready, really. I just figured that, well, it's just fashionable. You're supposed to be a married lady, get married. So I did. And found myself not really happy with the situation. I couldn't do my thing like I usually did. And it was just a case of can't do with and can't do without. That's why I married him again.
Well, here I go again. Darling, 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 don't you ever go away from me. Next time you gotta promise that you're really gonna stay right here with me.
She seemed to know what I was trying to say, maybe better than I knew myself. She knew how to interpret a lyric.
A song like Alfie's one of the best lyrics that Hal ever wrote or anybody ever wrote. You know, it's a great, great lyric.
What's it all about? Alfie, is it just for the moment we live? What's it all about when you thought it out, Alfie?
This is a true story. Now we know I actually was not the first, the second, nor the third person to record this song. As a matter of fact, I was the 43rd person to record this song, and it still amazes me every time I tell this story.
Though never intended to be a single, Dionne's Alfie outsold the many versions recorded at the time.
They wrote a kind of a new standard. Three of them together just put something together that was powerful. And everybody knew it. I mean, those were classic records that will live forever.
Occasionally, Dionne recorded a Bacharach David song she disliked.
We didn't know the way San Jose happens to be one of them, which was my first Grammy. It was like, whoa, 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 what?
Do you know the way to San Jose? I've been away so long, I may go wrong and lose my way.
94,000 people moved to San Jose because of, I'm not kidding you, because of the song San Jose. They now have over 100,000 people in San Jose.
The trio also spent time working on individual projects. In 1969, Dionne co-starred in her first film, while Bacharach and David continued to write for films and Broadway musicals. Though not originally written for her, Dionne's later recordings of their show material became hits.
What do you get when you fall in love? A guy with a pin to burst your bubble. Right. That's what you get for all your trouble. Never fall in love again.
Their stuff got a little more theatrical and a little more pop sounding. At exactly the same time that Aretha was coming on like gangbusters with some of the, greatest R&B music that's ever been made. So Dionne was getting a little bit of a rap from radio that her stuff was getting too white.
I'm hit and
In an era of political and social unrest, some young people found the music of Warwick, Bacharach, and David irrelevant.
Well, how black do you have to get is what I'd like to know. You know what I'm saying? What is black enough?
If we wrote R&B to write R&B or pop to write pop, that wasn't the way we did it. We were always trying to write the best song we knew how.
And what I do best is sing. And it doesn't matter what it is, I sing.
I'll Never Fall in Love Again earned Dionne her second Grammy. By the end of the decade, the trio had sold over 12 million singles and albums, and capacity crowds around the world eagerly awaited Dionne's 30-minute medley of her hits.
Don't you know?